Welcome to the latest instalment of Talking Trim. I'm Jonathan Skinner, and today we're going to be looking at the basics of the seat hardware for the Triumph TR2 and TR3 models. Keep in mind that the TR3A and 3Bs did differ, and we have got an alternate video for that and blog posting, so see our website and YouTube channel for that. Also keep in mind that we're only discussing the backrest squab elements of the hardware, nothing to do with the seat cushion bases, the bit your bum goes on. This is purely for the backrest squab that you lean up against. So what we're going to be looking at is the seat foam padding kit for the backrest, as well as the tacking strips. What we've got here is a set of original TR2 seat frames. TR2 and TR3 seat frames were essentially the same, the core difference being that on the later TR2s and the majority of the TR3s, you had one fixed and one tilting seat frame. As these are TR2s that customers supplied, they are both fixed. As you can see, there is no movement in it. It's literally completely one piece on both of them, as you can see. But the principle, again, is exactly the same for tilt and for fixed. So I'll explain that as I'm going through. So let's start with the tacking strips. What we supply is pre-cut hardboard pieces as per these here. This is for one seat here, and what you have to do, you have to soak one of the pieces in water to allow it to flex and bend round like that. Then you match up the holes to your seat frame, etc., and drill through and attach them using sort of pop rivets or something similar. So these small bits here go on the underside on either side, as per. This one here goes in the middle, and then this one here goes on the inside here. It'll be easier if I show you on this seat frame here that we've done the basics on. So you can see here, this one goes and bends around on the inside. Now bear in mind, this is obviously the fixed frame, as I said before. On the tilt frame, there would effectively be a little air gap there, so this piece here would sit a bit higher and would allow you to tack the backrest retainer round and through the gap and up and over. To see the underside pieces, that's what they look like there. So they're obviously there to help you pull the material down. So the bits on the bottom here, you're pulling the backrest cover down here and you're tacking it round onto the bottom here. And then the curved piece that goes on the inside is for the front of the pleated panel and the retainer at the bottom, and then they tack down through like that, obviously in a slightly different position if it's a tilting frame. So that is essentially the tacking strip setup there. The good thing about tacking is it is very flexible. It allows you to unpick and retack, add tension in different areas. Gluing, you produce the same results, but can get a bit messy because it's a lot harder for you to unglue and then re-glue if you need to apply tension in a different area. What you'll find when you're trimming seat covers is it's quite an organic process. And so you might think you've got one area perfect, but then you try and do another area, and it means you have to ease off a bit of pressure in one part and reapply it in another. So that's why tacking is brilliant, because it's very versatile. So we do recommend you tack these, and originally they did use tacking strips. Moving on to the padding kit for the squab, the backrest. You've got two pieces in our kit. You've got the 1-inch foam here, and then the thinner foam here. The thinner foam goes on the back of the backrest there. It doesn't go all the way around, it goes to the very bottom lip there, as you can see the groove, because there's a piece of material, vinyl normally, that goes round the base frame effectively. What you do though is you do bring it over the top. So what you want to be doing first is, with the thicker foam, you place that inside the frame. Just use a bit of basic glue, normally down the middle there, just to anchor it in place. And then you use the foam here on the back, lap it around and put some more glue on just to anchor it all in place. You don't need to go OTT on the glue. As long as it's held in place and anchored correctly, you'll be fine. It's also quite useful to use a bit of masking tape initially on the frame to the blue foam like that, tuck around like that. You can see it's starting to peel back, but it doesn't matter. You can trim that back as and when you get to the trimming point. Once the seat cover's on, there'll be so much pressure applied by the seat cover itself being tacked down that those elements really won't matter at all. So bear in mind as well, on the TR2s and the TR3s, there was also an element of a horseshoe on the cover, which already has some foam attached to it. So a lot of this is not insignificant, but it's certainly not extremely important at this stage here. So that's the basics there of how you set those up. We sell the seat foam kit as part of a backrest and cushion base kit. You'll also want to consider the seat spring, cushion springs as well. And then we sell the seat tacking strips separately, and obviously the seat covers are also available from us. We can do them in vinyl, leather faced or full leather. See our website for more details. And remember obviously to tune into the next episode and click subscribe and share to make sure that you see all of the relevant episodes up and coming. Thanks.